Hello, hello. Can anybody hear me? Yes? No. Why? Okay, great. Because I can't hear myself, but it's okay. The system is off. Okay, welcome to today's webinar. As we have people streaming in, let me tell you more about what we do. I'm going to launch a poll here to let you know, to let us know if it's your first time here. Okay, so we know what to do with our webinar. Yeah, come, let's do a poll. Let me know. Great. I see a lot of familiar faces right now. So, okay, great. So, just to let you know, again, we have a daily webinar here where Jin will be walking you through his thoughts and ideas for very specific currency for each day. Monday, we talk about Aussie and New Zealand. Tuesday, Euro. Wednesday, Pound. Thursday, Yen and Gold. Today, we're talking about Canadian dollar and the oil. So today, again, Friday, Canadian oil, and he'll probably talk about a little bit of NFT, if possible. This webinar is going to be very beneficial to long-term investors and short-term traders, especially people like me, a trader itself. So during this session, Jin will be going through what move prices, possible trade ideas, and highlights potential targets and risks involved. Of course, any information shared during this session is not intended to be a trade recommendation, but is solely the opinion and views of the speaker. So please remember to do your own analysis prior to entering any trade. For those first time here, my name is Daniel, and I've known Jin for many years, first as a student and now as a business partner in Forex Briefcase. Jin has run LCMS traders and Forex Briefcase as a trading coach and million-dollar trader, now trading more than $8 million USD. What this means is, as he trades and also been invited to speak on many stages globally. In fact, one of the reasons why you may be here today is because you may see him presenting in an event or attending one of the courses previously. So while we're going to get started, let me launch another poll, just to let us know, where how do you come to know about this webinar? Again, a lot of you are old timers here, been here before. If you have a lot of people or friends, families who are trading Forex, please ask them to come to join this webinar in the morning. It's really very helpful. Yes, I've seen in the chat as well that in fact they were saying that this webinar and this webinar is so important to people who are preparing to trade Forex itself. Okay, great. So we have people from Telegram channel, welcome, Traders Club members, friends who have shared, great, and email registration as well. Okay, good. So without delaying, I would like to pass it to Jin right now as he will tell us more about the Canadian dollar and the oil. Back to you, Jin.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. I was just answering to some messages from my investors, so sorry about that. All right, so what are we talking about today, Daniel? We're talking about Canadian dollar and oil. Okay, so looking at it, quite a few of you are already Traders Club members. So let's do a quick recap on Traders Club, and then we have a few more things to talk about in addition to, in addition to the currencies that we're looking at today. So Traders Club, look for us on Facebook, LCMS Traders Club. It is $49 a month to join, or $199 a year. I always say this every day, right? At $199 a year is less than $1 a day to join, and also to get all that information. If you're already on the chat, you've been scrolling through the chat. Andrew there, Andrew give us a big hands up. has been talking about the NFP last night. So I'll do a bit of a recap on the NFP. But where was my video? Let me find that video. So I did a video for Trader Club members on the NFP, 10 minutes long, basically going through different currency pairs, what I think is going to happen in a good news scenario or in a bad news scenario, which currency pairs to pay attention to, where to trade towards, what are the targets, what are the stop losses, and entry points. So I was quite happy to do that, and I traded on the MEM. I was very happy with the results. I think one of our guys just responded and said it was almost 0.5% return yesterday. So just last night alone, about 0.47% return yesterday. So super happy about that. That's one of the things you get at LCMS Traders Club. Videos where any big news coming up, I'll do a quick summary or a quick setup to tell you what's going to happen, what likely is going to happen. Those of you who come on from the Telegram channel, we had some questions about Telegram channel and the Forex Briefcase MEM. Telegram channel, we fire out the signals first in the LCMS Traders Club. This was from yesterday. New Zealand yen 69.90, stop loss, take profits level 1, 2, and 3. We not only tell you whether to buy or sell first in the Traders Club, we also tell you the reasons behind why we're looking to buy and sell. So Daniel and the team of signalers fire out all these signals. We tell you the step-by-step reason behind why you want to enter this trade. So you not only copy a trade, you also learn from that trade. And at take profits level 1, 2, or 3, you don't know what to do. Daniel and the team actually tells you whether to get out at take profit level 1 or 2, what are the news coming up, so whether to get out, secure your profits, or to take a little bit of risk and to let it run, right? So a lot of times you don't know whether to get out or to hold. This is all there to support you, to give you the info. We do this currency call every day, well, Monday to Friday, obviously, at 11 a.m. At about 9 p.m., Kenneth, who's not on the call now, but he does the updates at 9 p.m. every night. Because if you're working, you come back from work, you sit down, you want to trade, you might have watched the video, the currency call already. He gives you the update of what has been happening since 11 to 9 o'clock to get you up to date, get you started, get you ready to trade. So, LCMS Traders Club, all the info there with tutorials as well. So the last one, the most important thing we have there is courses and tutorials, little bite-sized courses to teach you new things, trends, support, resistance, indicators, looking at news, how to back test, all the different aspects of how to trade better. And it's all recorded, it's all there. You can rewatch it over and over. If you join today, you can watch everything that happened over the last weeks and months as well. So you're not missing out on anything whenever you join. Okay, so it's all there. Let's look at the news. Why I want to look at the NFP last night, right? Just lost my train of thought there. Why I want to look at the NFP last night is because looking at the news today, there's not going to be much happening. A bit of PMI news coming out later or earlier in the afternoon today from the Eurozone. And then the US is on bank holiday. The US is on bank holiday because tomorrow is the 4th of July, Independence Day in the US. So they have taken a bank holiday today as well, which is also one of the reasons why we've seen very muted price movements throughout this week across the board. So yesterday we had the non-farm employment change numbers. I actually been saying for the whole week we're likely to see recovery. We're likely to see recovery in data. Previously was 2699, expected 3037, came out 4800K. So it came out a very strong employment number. Are they out of the woods yet? Not exactly. Because although they are hiring more, the more people are getting back to work, they're still not back to pre-COVID levels, right? So they're not back to pre-COVID levels. It's just showing a recovery. It's not an expansion. It's not a business as usual and beyond. So there is a recovery. Unemployment rate, this shows you the recovery, right? It was 4.4%. So going from 13.3 to expected 12.4 to now 11.1, It's still not at the 4.4% that it was in April, or even the 3.6% in February, right? So it is again a recovery, but it's not back to business, not back to usual yet. And then more importantly, the average hourly earnings was -1, expected to be -0.8, came out at -1.2. So there is, a slight variant. Not exactly the worst news, but not the best news either. So that threw a little bit of a spanner in the works, halted that possible US dollar climb, or not really climb, slight move upwards, gave it a little bit of a check just to make sure. So because of these slightly positive, a little bit mixed data coming last night, we saw that in the charts, right? We saw that in the charts, it really didn't move that much. There were some pairs that move a little bit more, but in general, let me just do a quick run through. In general, you can see that it was really sitting there. Aussie came down, US dollar get a little bit stronger against the Aussie, but then it sat there again. New Zealand dollar, it climbed. I think in the video that I did for my Trader Club members, I actually said that New Zealand dollar, if it was going to bounce off this support, would be a good trade to this level. So there was some profit there on the New Zealand US dollar. The euro dollar, shot up a little bit, came back down, sitting at almost the same level. Euro pound, I distinctly remember saying that this is on the watch list, but we'll wait and see. So it's still sitting in that zone. Pound US dollar, not doing much, almost moving to that line, but it moved a bit more. So we might see whether it's going to come back down. Yesterday we spoke about the yen, right? Yesterday we spoke about the US yen pairs, sitting right across. It's sitting right across. Hasn't done anything at all, right? So you can see that this is on the H4 time frame, for the last 10 candles, almost 10 candles, 40 hours, it's sitting at this 107.50 level. Hasn't done that much at all. Euro, yen, same thing. Oops, let me just go H4. Same thing. It's pretty much sitting in the area. Pound, yen, as well. H4 as well. It's gone up a little bit. It's still sitting at that level. So you can see that everything has been very muted. Everything has been pretty much sitting across. Why? Is because although we had some good news from the US, volatility is not really there. Markets are closed, people are waiting. There's some slight mixed news. There's a risk of a second wave. So although we got some improvements in numbers, we got some downside risk in terms of a second wave. So that's probably counteracting, causing markets to move slightly across. So next week, we might see a little bit more movements, but I anticipate that it's going to trend a little bit more. Not really have that big candle movements, but step-by-step move in a particular direction. All right, so gold, well, it's moving to what I was hoping for. It's sitting across, possibly going to test the 1800 level. US CAD, all right, so let's get back to the focus. Today we are talking about the US CAD and oil. US CAD is sitting at this 135.18 level, right? It's sitting at this support level. This is on the H4 time frame. The question now is, we have not much news happening today. I'll tell you that I don't think it's going to move much today off this level. What's likely to happen is we need to see what's going to happen at this support level of 135.18. Are there any triggers that could push it lower, break it and push it lower, or is it likely to bounce? In my view, I think that the likelihood is for it to move lower. Okay, actually, let me just jump to that. It's not going to happen this week. It'll probably move that way, and then possibly break this support and move lower. So that's what I'm looking for. But you do have to wait for it to break below the 135.18 level and close before selling. So it probably will have to go towards 134.80, 134.85, closed at that level. Look for an 70 pip stop for a possible 100 pip take profit. So that's the kind of trade we'll be looking for. Can it go up? Possibly, but I'll be a little bit more careful with buying the US CAD upwards. If it were to go up, you'll be looking at about a 60 pip stop loss for a possible 130 pip take profit, or even maybe 100 pip take profit. At those kinds of level, I think that we might see some triggers pushing the US CAD, the Canadian dollar a little bit stronger, an increased demand in oil, a recovery in the Canadian economy as well, and possible if the second wave in the US is going to hit, that weakening in the US dollar, that could all come into play, test that support of 135.18 and break lower. So those three components could cause the US CAD to head lower from 135.18 to 133.44. Okay. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. Right, I don't see any questions yet. All right, good stuff. So there's the US CAD. Looking at oil on the daily time frame, I can tell you that personally, I don't trade oil, right? I don't trade oil. I use it. I monitor the prices. I monitor the movements of oil to relate it back to the US CAD and to relate it back into the overall scheme of things. Oil is not one that I actively trade. So it is sitting at the 40.34 level right now, putting in that resistance level. The last time it hit here, it stopped and had that big gap. That was that big news, I think, in terms of the production levels. So that was that big drop there. Right now, it's coming back to test this resistance level of possible 41 flat, 41.08, 41 flat. So testing that level with the possible increase in demand for oil and the current agreements to cut production or to maintain that production level cuts, we could see oil break that resistance of 41.08. Whether it will get to 51.28, I don't actually think so. I think there are many other levels in there that you might have to consider, such as 45.09. So breaking that 41.08, next level up will be 45.09, and then possibly higher up. But take it step by step. Don't think that it's going to break several levels at one time. You can see that what it's been doing is it's been going up, consolidating, trying to break, go up, consolidate, trying to break, consolidate, trying to break again. So it's moving in a step-by-step fashion. That's something that we might want to do if you are looking into trading oil. All right. I think I've gone through that quite quickly today. Why I wanted to do that quite quickly is because we looked at all the possible happenings for CAD and oil. We looked at what happened with the non-farm payrolls from yesterday. I want to do a quick overview of what could happen next week, because we're on Friday right now. It's a long weekend in the US. Let's look at what could happen next week. Let's move that there. All right. So next week, Monday, we got a little bit of a US news on the non-manufacturing PMI that could move markets a little bit, especially after they come back to work. They start looking at the non-farm payroll numbers. They start looking at non-manufacturing PMI numbers that could actually cause a little bit more volatility in the market starting on Monday. On Tuesday, we will be looking at that. They will be releasing the cash rates and the rate statements from the Reserve Bank of Australia. So that's going to fit perfectly, because on Monday we talk about the Aussie dollar leading up to Tuesday's news. So watch out for that. We could see some news about how the Aussie dollar is going to move there. Wednesday, nothing much. We got some oil inventories, nothing much there. Thursday, again, we've got the FPC and BOE financial reports, but that's probably not going to move markets too much. And then on Friday, we've got the Canadian employment numbers, right? So definitely on Friday, we'll be talking about Canadian dollar. What you see is that for the week, there isn't any big major news. So I'll be looking forward to more trending scenarios. I'll be looking forward to more, not so much medium or longer term trades, but more shorter term trades, intraday or, a couple of hours, get in, get out, actively manage your trades during this period because we're going to see, markets be a bit more consolidating before that move up. So actively manage your trades. I think that if you're going to enter a trade, leave it and get back to it later, you might get caught out with your stops are a little bit too tight. And if your stops are a bit too wide open, then one bad trade could hit your potential profits or all the profits that you've made as well. So things to watch out for in terms of what has happened and what could happen next week. All right. So I don't see any questions there. Daniel, you can take it back. Just your mute.
Okay, great. Yes. So thank you very much for Jin. So Jin has given us a while about how NFT has affected the market yesterday. He also talks about the Canadian dollar and oil, how the possible movement it will be. And he also given us a very nice overview of what you to be preparing for next week itself. So that's great. So I'm going to launch a poll to let us know how you find this session today. Right? I'll be very happy if everyone can give us a vote. Okay, great. So so let us know.
It's tricky to say give us a vote now. Must be careful.
No politics. Okay, yes. And by the way, so just for those who are new here, recording of this video will be uploaded. So thank you very much for joining these sessions today. Tomorrow is a Saturday, so there'll be no currency call. But on Monday, at the very first, where we just started, we'll be talking about the Aussie and New Zealand dollar. So I will catch you guys again from next Monday onwards. Looking forward to see you guys.
Alrighty, trade safe, trade well. See you all. Thank you.
See you. Bye.
Thanks, Ty.
Bye-bye.